Hello everybody and welcome to Low Country Volkswagen in beautiful Mount Pleasant. Finally, the day is here where we can get a really nice review for each and all of y'all on Facebook and YouTube. This is the 2019 Volkswagen Jetta SEL Premium. Stay with us. We're going to take a look at this car in depthly today. Take a look at pricing, options, features, and just all the hot stuff about the new body style Jetta. Here we go. So under the hood of the new 2019 Jetta, it's coming equipped with a 1.4 liter turbo. It's probably the smallest four-cylinder motor Volkswagen has ever put inside of a Jetta. But here's what Americans really want at the end of the day. They're all asking for better fuel economy. And Volkswagen has seemed to do it with a gas engine instead of having to go diesel on this particular vehicle currently right now in 2018-2019 with the Jetta. So, a lot of people have said, you know, they may not be as excited about the 1.4 turbo because it doesn't have enough horsepower. Well, let me tell you folks, again, if you're looking to have a ton of horsepower and more get up, you're gonna either need to smash your foot down on that gas pedal a little harder or check out the Volkswagen Golf R. But for now, the 1.4T, almost 40 mile per gallon. Oh boy, that's sounding good to me. So the next few parts of this video, we're gonna go ahead and start taking a look at the front of the Jetta. The SEL Premium has just about every tech feature possible on it. Beautiful headlights on this vehicle, all LED. You got your daytime running lights. I mean, it is such a gorgeous vehicle in the front. It's bigger, it's wider. Up top on the roof, you get a larger sunroof, and also, which is something kind of interesting, instead of a sunroof like most of us have had, where when you open it, it slides into the vehicle, as in like under the roof line, the Jetta's sunroof actually opens up and slides out on the top, which gives you more open space for these beautiful Carolina skies. So on this particular SEL Premium Jetta, we are getting a good looking set of Bridgestone tires. You know, Bridgestone makes good looking tires. The size of these tires are, let's have a look, 205, 55, or 17. The 17 stands for the inches of the rim. Another nice thing about Volkswagen is they've always done a great job of making their alloy wheels look sporty. These kind of have a look of, hey, we're in motion without being in motion, if that makes any sense. So the doors on the Jetta are, of course, bigger, meaning easier to get in and out of the vehicle, right? Bigger doors, easier to get in, bigger opening spaces. That makes kind of sense. Again, it's the largest Jetta ever made. Volkswagen made last year for 2018 their largest SUV ever in history, the Volkswagen Atlas. So as you can see, the vehicles are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But again, Volkswagen still does have their smaller vehicles like the Beetle and the Golf and all that, if you like something a little smaller. Now, you may be wondering right now, okay, the car's getting bigger, and with big, it might be harder to park. Well, let's slow you down for a second. Volkswagen still is putting those types of things in motion, and they're giving you all these sensors all over the vehicle, backup sensors in the bumpers, in the front, blind spot monitoring systems on the mirrors so you don't hit somebody if they're in your blind spot, and then all the cameras on the vehicle as well so you can see when pulling in, and 360 camera views where you can see down on the car. So again, technology is really at its finest right now in the automotive industry, and Volkswagen seems to be on the leading edge. Yeah, I actually fit in the trunk, right? Let's talk about that for a minute. With a bigger vehicle also gives you more cargo space in the back. As you can see, a guy myself, 215 pounds, 6'1" in height, full-blooded American. I'm getting in this trunk just fine and dandy, and there was a little bit of room if I did need to move around a little more. But again, not the most comfortable spots to be sitting in, but I did fit, and it was pretty easy to get out with the little button in there that glows in the dark that pops that trunk right open. Now going into that, here is the key of the vehicle. Some features that the key does offer on this particular Volkswagen, one you're going to use quite often, is the trunk open button. Just hold it down, opens up. Now it doesn't pop all the way up like a power trunk possibly, but it doesn't weigh very much. Just go like that, and there you go. You got your trunk open. Life is still easy for you or your wife or your kids or whoever's throwing stuff in the back. Now you do get a backup camera like we spoke about earlier, tons of room, a back seat that folds down for a 40-60 back seat split just in case you need to slide bigger items in. And hey, you got just about everything you need. Let's take a little closer look and see if there's a spare tire. So as you can see back here, Volkswagen's trunk, here's some of the things you're going to get. All-season rubber floor mats. In case you live in California, you may need a plate to go on the front. Your roadside assistance kit, which has a ton of goodies in it. I really do like that. And you have your cargo protection system so things don't move all around back here. You got that as well. And it really does have a lot of room. You got this nice mat. And under this mat, there we go, you have a spare tire and a subwoofer in there for a little bump in the trunk. Now I won't be completely and utterly biased just because I'm working here at this Volkswagen dealership. I will point out a few things on the car that seem to concern others. And one of those things is this right here. People have seemed to complain online that Volkswagen didn't put the extra time or maybe money into maybe covering these up. So when you put your luggage in the trunk, maybe they don't bump on your suitcase or whatnot. Personally, I don't really think it's that big of a deal, but people online seem to point out any and everything they can when they're trying to, you know, hey, this doesn't go here, this doesn't look right, this, right? In a perfect world, okay? But it's not that big of a deal. Another thing in the back here that I've seen people point out is that even on a SEL Premium, you're not getting a carpet all up top up here. Now, Volkswagen does put this big plastic piece here, and there's that button up top to get out in case you're stuck in the trunk, but they didn't put all the carpet up there. Well, if you're wondering what the carpet or the padding or whatnot is for up there, technically it is for sound deadening, to make it a little bit quieter in the cabin. So our next spot is going to be going up to the front of the car and looking under the hood. All right, let's go ahead and pop the hood, check out the 1.4 liter turbo and a few other things I'll point out today in this video. So the button is pretty easily accessed right there. It doesn't seem like you'll have to do a whole lot of searching to find the hood button to pop it up. It does got some weight to it, okay? I mean, it's got my biceps working a little bit right now, and I don't have a whole lot of Popeye muscle, but I got a little. But it's kind of heavy, really. You'll notice here we have our traditional hood prop. I like how they've kind of put some yellow up here to accent it a little more. So there's no shocks or anything like that under the car or under the hood, which this seems to be just fine for most people. Now, when we were in the trunk back there, we were talking about padding and things like that under the trunk. You can see the Jetta does have some padding here. Yes, it does help with sound deadening, but also a safety feature where if the engine happens to catch on fire for some reason, this will help dampen out the fire and put it out hopefully quicker and save you a little more time so you can have time to get out the car depending on the situation. So you do have that. One thing that I would like to point out though is that we don't have a remote start on our key. A lot of the higher trim level vehicles in the marketplace, whether you're looking at a Honda EXL with nav, or even a Chevy or a Ford Fusion or a Chevy Impala, most of their higher end trim levels will have remote start. I do not know why Volkswagen did not add that, but there's other brands that don't have it on their higher trim levels. Go take a look at a new Mazda CX-5 Grand Touring. There's no remote start. So, You can always get it added on aftermarket if need be, but you're not going to be getting it on an SEL Premium for the 2019 year. Alright everybody, the next part of the video we're going to be taking a look at the interior of the Jetta. Now do take into consideration I am, again, 215 pounds, 6'1" in height. We always like to look at headroom, legroom, all that stuff. So that's what we're getting ready to get into right now. But before we do, my voice is a little raspy. Before we do, we're going to take a look at the Moroni label here and see exactly what we got going on as for some of the options and specs and price. So as you can see here, your fuel economy on a 1.4T SEL Premium front-wheel drive is 40 on the highway, 30 city, average combined of 34. That's great out of a gas engine. We don't have any safety ratings particularly yet by the IIHS, which is the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, but probably going in later into the year, after summer, we'll probably have that on there. It just takes time for them to do testing. There's so many new cars coming out. Now, you'll see here, this vehicle started at manufacturer's retail price of $26,945. Then you add VW CarNet equipped, driver care package, package options, and all these things. And that bumps your price from $26,945 to $28,115. So $28,000 basically. What a great deal. And I'm going to tell you something about the price next. So I was talking to a sales guy in the dealership before I came out to start reviewing this car. Inside the store in there, we have a SE with sunroof 2019 Jetta. And I looked at the price, and it's got, you know, it's just a beautiful car and it looks really nice. And I looked at the car, and the manufacturer's retail price on the vehicle was like $23,400, right around there. And here's what he told me. He said, Chad, I've been selling Volkswagens now since all the way back since 2012. That's when he first started working with the Volkswagen dealership here. And he said, I remember in 2012, a Volkswagen Jetta SE with sunroof was around $24,008. So what he told me was, it's incredible how here's a 2019 with more options now, bigger, better fuel economy, all that stuff. And Volkswagen has got this car priced almost $1,000 less than what it was back in 2012. So, Volkswagen is being competitive to have their vehicles priced appropriately, and at the same time, you're getting a lot of bang for the buck on this new Jetta. All right, let's hop in on the interior and see what all we got going on. Because, I mean, I'm telling you right now, folks, this is a nice car. So starting out, let's take a look at our door panel here. Fit and finish, you're going to see the fit and finish is pristine on this car. Volkswagen and Audi's always been good at that. You got leather. The color combinations are great too, just by the way. I'm loving the tan with the black. Got a little silver, kind of brushed aluminum look going on here. You got auto up down feature on every single window. You got power mirrors, heated mirrors, trunk button. I like how they've kind of done this look here. Just looks really stylish. Throw a bottle of water down there, got a little more storage here. Lock and unlock button. If the vehicle's locked, you have a little red light there that blinks to let people know the vehicle is locked and alarmed. Then coming over to the seats, I mean, take a look at these gorgeous interior seats here. I love how Volkswagen did the black on the outsides and on the headrest and did the tan on the inserts. And then the way they have it all stitched up. The holes are nice and big for the perforated leather seats. They're heated. They might even be cooled. We're going to find out in a minute. You also have memory seats, power seat options, and power lumbar support right there. Down here, rarely car reviewers even talk about this, but I like how they just got that big plastic piece right there to rest your foot and all that. So plenty of room underneath. Headlight controls are here. These are nice looking, and everything's kind of embezzled in a nice shiny like piano black. Leather is wrapped onto that steering wheel, which feels good, and even got a little bit of leather wrapped up onto that dash. Let's go ahead and take a seat inside the vehicle now. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this for a minute. I'm going to tell y'all a little secret about auto manufacturers. You might be wondering, why do they put black on the sides and on the back of the seat and up here, right? I want y'all to think about this for a minute. I used to work for Acura back in the day. I sold a lady an Acura TL. It had parchment, which was a light tan colored interior. And This lady came back to me a couple weeks or maybe a few months later, and she was in service and she was complaining that her blue jeans were staining the seats. She said her son even was sitting in the back and you could see the blue jean stain on the back of the seats. Acura had basically not done a color combination like this, and they just made everything tan, which is hard to keep clean. So with that being said, I learned at that point why auto manufacturers do it like this with the color combinations, because these areas here and on the back side and even here with your makeup or your hairspray or whatever, that stuff gets icky and gets on the seat. So be careful wearing jeans in your vehicle. Seriously, you might not think about it now, but you'll wonder why sometimes people will lay a towel down on their leather seats. That's because their jeans can, technically, the ink from in them can stain the seats. Just a little trivia stuff here, or just a little something to share. Let's switch the camera back around and start looking at this beautiful interior layout. All right, so one thing to let you know off the get-go here, it is hot today outside. I mean, you can tell, it's warm out there. It's already going into summertime. When I cranked the car up and gave it about 5 minutes just sitting here, this AC is blowing cold. It's really cold. Another thing to point out too is that AC systems on vehicles, the fan speeds have gotten to be a lot higher or faster. Check this out when I cut this on. Tell me if you can hear it. Those fans are blowing extremely hard right now. You could put your mouth right in this area and your lips and everything are going to go whoop, whoop, okay? So that's nice. That's nice and cold. And after about 10 minutes or 5 minutes of that, you're going to just want to turn them down and just keep the car at a nice temperature. The leather on the steering wheel feels great, looks good. The buttons in the car, really nice and classy, just how they got a matte finish on them, a little bit of silver. You got adaptive cruise control on here. Over here, audio, voice command, all that stuff. Then you get the screen. If you're familiar with our Volkswagen Tiguan's and our Atlas, if you get an SEL Premium, they've basically transferred this beautiful digital dash here right into the car. The digital cockpit, I think it is what they call it, something like that. As you can see, we can see the nav right there in the middle. On the left, all your different information there on fuel, and there's so many things it does. Radio can also go through there. You know, how many miles you have till E, mile per hour. So a digital dash or digital cockpit, like Volkswagen says, is really nice. Also an upgrade in this car on your stereo system, you're getting Beats by Dr. Dre. Now, I did a video on this when we had vehicles here that Volkswagen dropped off for us to look at, and I said, you know, I think this is the first vehicle in the United States of America that offers Beats by Dr. Dre. I was wrong on that after doing some research and seeing what people were saying online. I think Chrysler was the first company to actually install Beats, but good stuff. And again, Volkswagen only puts the best in their cars. The screen looks nice too, folks. Look at that. Beautiful display. I'm loving the white and the black. It's touchscreen. You got the Volkswagen logo on there. Hit the X. Check it out. I mean, really nice. My camera does not even give it enough justice on how pretty this layout is with the black and just really sleek. You got buttons over here, buttons over there, phone systems, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, everything you need in the car right here. You'll notice that since we have nav on the other screen, it's just displaying this over here. Let's hit map. Now you have your map there and your compass over here. So you can kind of switch them up a little bit, right? Maybe you just want the radio on here or your phone information there. Then it'll throw the nav over there. So a lot of different options you can do inside of this whole system here. You got a settings button right there. Look how it just kind of flipped upside down. Pretty sweet little transition there. And there's all kinds of stuff in this car you can do. You know, did you know that it's got ambient lighting on the interior? There's ambient lighting all over the place. I wish we could do a night review so you could see it. But you can change all of the lighting inside the car. You can change it to red, pink, blue, yellow, whatever you want to do, you can do it on this vehicle. So that's nice as well. You're down here, the shifter looks good. Another nice leather boot. Start stop engine button, finally got that. Electronic park brake. You also have this new feature here with where the vehicle will shut off while you're sitting at the stoplight or at you know, or you're just sitting like we are right now, the engine will just shut right off. So again, that auto engine on and off feature is in this vehicle. Some people are not a fan of that feature, and I think there may be a way to just shut it off completely, but you just hit that button there and it'll shut off. But again, when you get in the car, you will have to, again, hit that button each time. There may be a master way to get in there and do a hack possibly to stop that, but that's not for me to share. That is for you to do some research on online and find someone talking about it. Not my forte. 12-volt USB right there. You do have cooled seats now. Just hit the cool button. Heated seats as well on driver passenger side. Pretty sweet. I'm gonna put the cool on my side. There we go. Keep those legs and buns nice and cool. Glove box, really big. And again, I'm loving all this. Cup holders here, change spot there. Also, something to point out on this car too is this right here. I like how Volkswagen has kind of cut it right there to give you room for your drink, but at the same time still giving the driver plenty of arm space to rest their arm on a trip. Sorry passengers, you can rest your arm right over there. Also opens up, USB port down there. And again, I like the gray and the felt in the bottom and all that. I like how it's not just a black hole, because that's the junk drawer for most people's cars. So that's pretty sweet. Before we take it out for a test drive, we're going to look up here, then we'll get in the back, and then we're going. You still got your sunglass holders, very nice. Lighting, looks good. Lighting here, there you go. And then your big sunroof right there. I like that you can see still a little bit of light coming through, very nice. You have SOS, all that good stuff up there for safety. You have handles above every window still to hold on if Dad's driving. More lights in the back. Let's go ahead and hop back there and take a look. All right, let's test out the back seats back here. I know it's going to be all right. I just got a feeling. It's bigger, it's better, it's got to be all right. So anyways, let's go ahead and do this. All right, getting in was easy, right? Didn't hit my head up there like I do on some cars. And you'll see here, my leg room is great, plenty of that. My knees are not even touching. Again, 6'1" guy sitting up front, seats in position how I want to drive it. 6'1" guy in the back, we're good to go. Headroom is also good to go. Lights, handles, holders here for your coat, sport jacket, dress shirt. It's quiet. It is pretty quiet. Now, I do tell everybody I'm not a fan of cup holders in this section here because it kind of takes away from my arm being able to rest. So, but you got them. You do have them. I don't see any USB ports or anything like that in the back of the car today. So, that's another thing that I'm not a big fan of. I think vehicles should have USB ports or at least a 12 volt in the back, because kids are back here or whoever's in the back, most likely they're using some kind of device. Another feature that's not on this vehicle, which kind of surprises me, is this. They have it like right there, like, hey, we were gonna put it there. We don't have rear air in the back of the Jetta SEL Premium. So I haven't found a whole lot of things today that I'm not a fan of, but just being in the back, I see a few things. Headrests look good though. It's still overall great car, but I've always said in my videos, if I'm gonna buy a vehicle and I got kids, I really want some rear air vents in the back so the kids can stay cool or warm in the winter, whatever's going on. So that's a little bit unfortunate. It looks like they possibly may add them in at some point. I hope Volkswagen does. All right, everybody, let's take our test drive. All right, everybody, we're buckled up. Always remember, when you put the car in gear and you're ready to drive, make sure your foot's on the brake, of course, but you're gonna need to come down here and hit this electronic park brake button, because it seems to just automatically cut on once you put the car in park. It's a great feature though, I tell you, but there's been plenty of times I put the car in drive, to go to drive out, and the car won't go. And I'm like, what's going on here? That's the reason. All right, let's hit the road. Let's see how the 1.4 liter turbo is, because I'm just really curious. Again, this is my first time driving the new Jetta, so it's always fun to do a little reaction video to that. So one thing I'm picking up on right now is it's pretty smooth. There's a few little dips and bumps in this parking lot, and I'm not feeling them a whole lot, so that's nice. I think one thing I want to see is how acceleration is and how the brakes feel. And I want to see how road noise is. You know, are the tires loud? Can I hear all the traffic out there? That kind of thing. So anyways, let's hit the road. Yeah, well, hey, buddy, he was coming around fast around that corner. And it's hard to see around that corner when you're pulling out of that store. Not a good thing for test drives with customers. But anyways. I mean, just going around the corner right there, I've hit the gas a little bit. It felt good. It really did. You know, the turbo really seems to make a big difference. It does. Brakes feel good coming to a stop. I don't know, it feels pretty peppy. Now again, I'm not driving on a racetrack or anything, but it feels pretty good. Going around the corner here feels good. Give it a little gas going around the corner. Nice. You know, you got a big windshield in the car, so I mean, really, looking around, your mirrors, you got nice big mirrors out there to see. You got blind spot monitoring on the mirrors. And the windows are really big all around the car. It's not like a chop top vehicle, you know, like a Chevy Camaro. It feels really nice. Not bad. This is good. I like it. Let's turn around here and let's give it another little whip-de-woo around the corner and see how she feels. I'm actually going to pull into our pre-owned dealership and see what they got going on over here. Going up that little bump there felt nice. This is pretty good. We'll be back in just a second. All right, so another thing I like to check out from time to time is turning radius. So we're just going to kind of whip it around here and see how she does. Not bad so far. It's pretty good turning radius. Not bad. Pretty good little circle there. So, I mean, again, it is a little bigger car, so the turn radius isn't going to be super tiny, but it did pretty good. All right, let's head on back over to the Volkswagen dealership. And while we're riding over there, give her a few more little pulls on the highway here and see how she feels. I'm loving the sunroof. I really do like that. And it's plenty big. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you can really feel that turbo just spooling up and get me up and out of harm's way. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of lag either. Now again, I'm not on a racetrack, so I can't give an opinion on, you know, how it is just balls to the wall flying fast as you can. But for just cruising around the city, I think we're good to go on the power. All right, everybody, that concludes our video today of the 2019 Volkswagen Jetta SEL Premium. Wow, what an amazing vehicle. I am so glad I took the time to check out the vehicle and drive the vehicle. I mean, really at the end of the day, you can watch as many videos as you want like this. You can read as much material online or in magazines that you want. But again, at the end of the day, to make the best decision for yourself on buying your next vehicle, you need to go out to the car dealership and test drive. So again, take my advice on that. If you're in the market and you live here in the beautiful Carolinas, come visit the #1 Volkswagen dealership in Charleston, Low Country Volkswagen. We'll see you soon, everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're watching on Facebook, please hit the share button and share this video with friends and family. We'll see you soon.